Hey everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. All of my beautiful, beautiful, free people. I'm Cameron. If you're new here, this is Power Inherent in the People, and we are jumping into part two, which is actually really part one of Luis's situation out in Stevens County with the Stevens County Sheriff's Office. I've been able to obtain Jason Lee's body camera. This is actually the first police officers who were in harassing, intimidating, and violating Luis's rights. As we're about to see here, well, I want to put you in. Well, let's do this. Check out Luis yesterday in court standing up for his rights without any lawyer whatsoever.
And just for my children, to see their dad taken, it affected them in a big way. And just for standing up for my rights. I don't know how else to put it, but they did all these things, and on top of it, I was on private property. They had no reason or probable cause or even a crime, involving an injured party or damaged property, for them to come up to me in such a way and try to ask me for ID, and then they threatened me on top of that. They said that if I didn't ID, that they would threaten me with arrest. And I told them, like, that goes against the Fourth Amendment. You can't do that. And they did it either way. They I told them that this was a violation of Title 18, 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Like, I told them, like, they even tried to conspire against me. And I have it all on their body cam footage. These are the direct words that came out of their mouth. Like, oh, I would love to see him go to jail. You know, for what?
So as you can see, it's pretty heart wrenching. Definitely emotional aspects are pulled. I definitely get tied into this one because this could be happening to me, and to see the fraudulent use of statutes from our state used in such a manner to harm us, the public, is very concerning. And I'm sure that the judge is very concerned about this too. I definitely think that she is seeing what is going on as far as their ploy. She said several times yesterday in his proceeding and hearing that, hey, I can't grant this motion because it doesn't have the basis of what you're establishing right now. You've submitted a motion, but everything that you're telling me, which I could grant, is not in this motion. She's pretty much given. She said it 4 or 5 times. She gave him action to say submit another motion and I'll grant it. So we're looking really good on Luis's situation. But I wanted to put your mind frame here real quick before getting into the body cam. Try to put your mind frame using the akashic record. Just try, if you can, to envision there's a big civil war, and this big civil war in our country had so many deaths. Deaths on deaths on deaths. Fathers, sons going out to defend, women and children being harmed in the process, chaos. And in that fight, goodness prevails. And when the goodness prevails, they implement a system of protection and public safety, law enforcement, for the laws, or should I say titles, in which was brought forth. And if you were to go and be a servant, a public servant, it was at this time held at the highest standards. Like, to be a public servant, you were like the most honorable person you could be. It was like so much. It was you. If someone was to be approved or hired in that position, it was like honorable. Like, the family was happy. Like, it was awards. You're out here taking oaths with the rest of the people. Like, it was a big thing. It was very. And at that time, those public servants were literally happy and ready to be a public servant and honor every right. Because within the laws and stipulations, as far as they were concerned, if they violated any of the people's rights, then the people could just stop paying. That's number one, right? But also number two, that if they violated those rights, they were could be subjected to death. And that's a real thing. I don't think we're really recognizing our remedy in the United States Code, especially under Title 18. But you really do, whether it's conspiracy to commit or conspiracy against the rights or the deprivation of rights under colorable law, which are state statutes. Any of those are subjected to death, still to this day. And I think we have to really get to the point of saying, is someone's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and the violation thereof worth death? I guess it depends at this point, because if I can't live free, then, I mean, I'm not going to say that people deserve death. I'm not like that. I'm just saying if it was at that level then, why is it now the other way around? We have to get our honor up. We have to get our integrity up. We have to give our servitude up. We have to really understand that we, the people, are paying our servants to do work for us. And if they're violating our community, it's not just about us. Oh, well, he violated that person, not me. I don't care. It's our community, because I am you and we are us. We are all part of the great I am. So let's get into this body cam and check out Luis's situation again. This is really like the part one. I did part one as really it's the second part, but here, let's go. Uh-oh.
Where would it be in your vehicle?
In my wallet.
In your wallet? Where's your wallet located?
Right there, somewhere.
You have a driver's license in your wallet in there.
Not a driver's license.
You have an
I
ID?
don't carry a driver's license. Because I know that puts me under your guys' jurisdiction. That's why I
The
have.
fact that you're driving in a state
I'm not
puts you
driving
under-
though. That's the thing. That if you guys knew the definition by Black's Law Dictionary.
Okay, stop. You're operating a motor vehicle in Washington
I'm not
State. You
operating.
need a Washington State driver's
operating,
license.
though.
Stop. Do you have a driver's license in Washington State?
Where's your injured party at?
Okay, that's not a thing.
Yeah,
Do
it is
you
a thing.
have?
Come on, I
Do
went to
you
court. I went to
have a
court.
driver's license?
Yeah, I do have. Not on me though.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yeah,
Do you
but-
have a driver's license?
Yeah.
What
but
is
that's
your
all-
name?
I don't have to give it unless there's been a crime committed. What's the crime? Tell me what crime has been.
As you can tell, look at both the cops. They don't know what to say, and they can't say nothing. And this cop here, Lee, stutters a couple times. Let's try to make up something here. We're gonna say that driving without a driver's license is a crime. Well, guess what? He's not. He's not driving. He's parked on private property. Okay? His family, as you can see right there in the background, just came out of the store getting something to eat, man. They're not in trouble. Nobody's done anything here. Who is bringing harm to another? Who is harassing another? As though they have more power over a free living being. We are the Americans. We are the people. All power is inherent in us. We are the kings. They are the servants. I mean, I like to be as polite as possible, but this is not okay. It's not okay at all.
In a car with no plates on it. That's
not
an
plates.
infraction in Washington State. You have to produce a
That's under commerce.
ID.
Though. That's under commerce.
Right next to the-
Okay. Where is your ID?
I don't have one.
You don't have a physical ID that has your name, date of birth, and
Can you
anything on
bring
it.
My passport?
That works too. You don't have it on you?
I don't have it on me. I usually
You don't have anything with your name, picture, date of birth on it.
No. I usually have my passport on me.
Alright.
But, I actually forgot it. But,
So whose car is this?
it's mine.
Who's it
I have-
registered to?
It's. I took it out of the system. So, pretty much, I don't want it to be.
So there's nothing that says it belongs to you.
Yeah. Can I show you guys? I got my paperwork inside right there in my glove compartment.
So one thing I want to say real quick on this one is he has deregistered his vehicle. He took his car out the system. Why did he take his car out the system? Well, he doesn't use it in a commercial capacity. He doesn't need to register it to the state. He doesn't need to give over his private property. And then they say, oh, well, you don't have documentation that you own the vehicle. What? I don't have state documentation showing that I own the vehicle. Where does it state that I have to have state documentation to show that I own the vehicle or that the vehicle is mine? honestly, I don't have to show you anything. That's what we have to start understanding. Why are we showing them anything? Why are we engaging with them when we don't have to? At this point right here, he should have said, I'm reserving all of my rights and I'm not giving you no ID. We're not having a conversation any further. You have a great day. Until you can prove that I have committed a crime, me and my family are going to go about my way. And you have a nice day as well. Please don't violate my rights, and if you do such, you will be held liable. This is your first and only warning. God bless you. And leave it. Certain situations, we just have to shut up and let them violate you. If they're going to put you, like right here, he giving up information. We don't have to prove ourselves. You have to prove you have to prove yourself, your claims. I don't have to prove myself to you. What? Where does that come from? I don't have to prove myself to you. I've done nothing wrong. Leave me alone. Quit harassing me.
In the glove compartment?
Yeah.
Any weapons, knives,
No,
anything
I
like
don't
that in the
carry
glove
any of
compartment? Okay, let's go to the passenger side and get it that way.
You want to open it? Get trunk.
You see the kids over there smiling, looking, he's waving. Oh, I'm waving you and I'm going to arrest your dad and take him to jail and take the only trailer you have to bring, firewood back to your home and cause all of this mess while I act all nice when there's no crime. Just a beautiful family here minding their own business, living the American dream by being free. What sense does it make, Deputy Lee, for you to do such a thing and agree to such? It's pretty sad, man. Like, yo, y'all got to do better. We all have to do better. We have to hold them accountable, and y'all, as LEOs, got to do better as far as serving us, man. We have to start coming together. So you can see that Luis has an affidavit here that he's filled out. Of course, you can tell Luis is not going to do anything nefarious. He's got his kids with him, man. You can tell he's an honest, good person.
Which one is this car?
Well, he's reading it. It's one of those.
Well, no, your license plate is over the VIN plate. That thing that you have over there is covering the VIN.
Yeah,
so we don't know what the VIN is.
It's this part that's right
Is the VIN sticker still on the driver's side?
here. Yeah, but I don't have to just like I said, I don't have to show you guys anything unless I committed a crime.
Hey, you've committed an infraction.
No, that's not a crime.
This is crime.
Where's the corpus delicti at? There has to be a corpse involved,
So again, right off the bat, he says you have committed an infraction. So that is their justification for speaking to Luis. But where's the infraction? His car or truck is parked. So you're telling me that we can now get infractions by having our private property parked on private property? It's pretty odd, don't you think? I'm sure there's going to be someone that's going to come along and be like, well, he was driving on the roads and they saw him. That's great. They didn't catch him in the act. They didn't pull him over while he was engaged or while he was utilizing his private property. It's crazy, man. These technicalities are what gets things dropped in court. And these technicalities, you have to have a foundation first. The foundation is probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. And as you just heard from Deputy Lee, it's not a crime, it's an infraction. So to ask on any aspect that he give up his ID when he has every right to be private in his papers and effects in all manners is a violation of his rights. It's very simple. I don't know why we have to argue about this.
You are the one committing the infraction.
But
you are the one.
The injured party at?
You don't need an injured party. No, you don't.
See, what Deputy Lee don't understand is you do need an injured party for a crime. You may not need an injured party for an infraction, but you do need a contractual agreement for an infraction.
Comes back expired this year, 201.
On Pinyal, do they have enough to run that guy? This guy?
Now look at this documentation. I don't know if you can see it, but this is an affidavit with a fingerprint in red. This is all you need. You don't look at it. He's got the UCC 1-3008 without recourse. Luis has done things properly in the private. That's what a lot of these organizations, these LEOs, agencies don't understand. You can live in the private. You do not have to contract with them. Again, you have unlimited power to contract. So if you have unlimited power to contract, you have unlimited power not to contract. And that's what we're all missing. This is his contract. His own private contract with another private individual. Both of these private individuals are of the highest authority because everything else, including the federal government, is underneath and a servant. And all of our Supreme Court justices will tell you the exact same thing. Why isn't our law enforcement, which is at the very bottom? Don't you find it a little odd?
Penaloza?
Yeah. Were you able to run Penaloza? Okay, can you send that, his DOL to 133's MPC, please? Comes back clear and current.
Yeah, he says he has a driver's license. He says he has one. He just doesn't have it on him. Gotta love sovereign citizens.
All right.
That is not him.
That is not him.
How about...
Second, let's see if we have another name.
there's no...
My boy's got everything notarized and everything. Look at this. Everything is notarized and all. So this is legit, the most legitimate document that you could have because it's notarized. Come on, man. Y'all, Luis, you did really good, brother. You are protected. You're protected not only by... you are protected, my brother. You're good to go.
There's no date of birth for this guy. Luis Armando. Ochoa Ibarra. Don't have him in locals.
All right, I'll call you right back. All right, thanks. Bye. Yeah, and the plate on the car is conveniently, or the VIN is covered up. No
Where did you get the VIN? Off the one on the back?
Yeah,
oh,
so I got the VIN from the truck. Luckily, it's lifted up high enough I can read the VIN.
Oh, okay.
But the VIN on the car is covered up. There's no plate, no VIN I can find on the trailer. Truck comes back expired with a sold notation.
He's requesting.
His what? Are they gonna put anything in the state returns?
Hey, so I've got a guy here.
When did being a private citizen or a private living being or a private individual, whatever term you want to use, when did becoming private become a sovereign citizen? I thought this whole sovereign citizen ideology was based around the aspect that you were anti-government, that you had problems with the government. And I mean, it's an oxymoron. We're not arguing with that. But the definition that they're utilizing is anti-government. What about Luis and his family being private individuals is a sovereign citizen? And why would you, Lee, claim him to be such? Again, you're prejudiced. You're judging him for there's nothing to even judge you on to say he's a sovereign citizen. What has he displayed to show you that he's anti-government? Like, they be out here wilding, man. But my boy's got his paperwork in line. I'm ready to see what they're going to say about him.
There's no name, just a date.
And the VIN on the car is covered up.
Copy.
So, he's requesting a sergeant, but that's not why I'm calling. If you want to come down, Without him IDing himself, he's got a life. With driving a trailer. Yeah. But as far as, are you good with me impounding the truck and trailer then? Okay. So the only thing the only giddy up to the hitch is I was just walking out eating lunch. Just whatever they want to do.
They take control. Could you add those returns to the call, please?
Those were involved in another.
Yeah, she's letting them know.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Perfect. All right. Sounds good. Thanks. I just wanted to make sure we had an exception. Take him to jail. Mike says, yeah, he'll call the jail.
Got him for failed to transfer title.
Did you find anything on his other name?
I can't find him. We don't have him in local, and there's no date of birth here.
Okay.
But this is a sold notification for your VIN on a year ago, and it's still not in the dude's name. So we got failed to transfer title within 45 too.
Okay. Well, I'll go.
I think it's pretty funny that they're trying to stipulate rules upon you that, oh, wait, that's right. He has to transfer title if he is operating in commerce. That's the only way.
State highways and roadways, okay, yes, public, with a vehicle that we think is not registered, comes back no registration found. The trailer's got no plates.
Yeah.
It's required by plates. You're not IDing yourself. Okay, so here's the deal. You tell me who you are right now, give me a valid ID, or you go to jail.
I don't have an ID. I can give you.
There it is. There it is right there, y'all. So he just said he's parked. He's sitting there, bro. He's literally parked and sitting there, bro. I know Luis sent me the video that he has on his phone, and I need to go back and find that. I'm going to incorporate that in this video. But homie just said, he said, listen, man, this is done, and this is done, and, you know, your trailer's not coming back. It's got these plates. And he said, you know, and homie was like, hey, man, I'm not giving you my ID. I haven't committed a crime. And literally, the sheriff literally comes through and violates by saying, by threat of arrest now, either give me your ID or you're going to jail. No crime. No crime. On private property. Didn't even commit an infraction due to the fact that he's on private property. I could see where you could try to justify that on public property. And some of my people being like, well, what's the difference between public and private? The aspect that he's not on any property in which the cops have current jurisdiction. That's why. There's no way that they can even try to attempt to contact him or establish their jurisdiction on him when he's on private property and there is no crime. It's that simple.
You guys, my name.
Okay, what's your name?
Luis.
Luis?
Yeah, Luis.
Okay.
But it's only under threat and duress, you know, like so.
What's your last name?
Ochoa, O-C-H-O-A.
I'm sorry?
O-C-H-O-A. I have a middle.
H-O-A?
Yeah, I have a middle name as well.
Okay, what is that?
Armando.
Okay, and your date of birth?
06/05/91.
91.
Look at the cop running back. Oh, I got a date of birth.
91.
Oh, I got a date of birth. I'm going to search him up. Let me search him up. When they've already said he's got a valid license. So I don't get how you can find that he has a valid license, but now, man, let's look him up.
133, those returned during the call.
Okay.
156.
We're getting a good inside look on.
He's got a good license and he's clear.
Oh, wait, y'all missed that.
So he's got a good license and he's. He's got a good license and he's clear.
What's that?
I said he's got a good license and he's clear. And he's got old driving history. Used to be suspended. But he's got a good license and no outstanding warrants.
All right. Well,
Yeah, because he's a good person. He's a good person that takes care of his family. That's why he doesn't have no warrants.
I'm gonna have to scratch an old-fashioned ticket.
You're just gonna cite him and
I'll write him up for no registration and. Okay, so you have a valid driver's license.
Dude's over there screaming, you got a valid driver's license. He already told you that. He already told you, but he don't need to give it. He's not operating in commerce, clearly.
For driving without a valid registration, expired plates,
It's not a crime.
no plates on the trailer.
It's not a crime.
Okay.
look, you
have
can contest it with the judge,
Yeah, I will.
which is totally fine. It's your
Yeah,
right.
and then once I have my paperwork and you guys try to do this again, then I'm gonna show you guys that paperwork.
It's gonna happen every time, man. The states of Washington or the states of
Yeah, but these
the
are
laws of
public
Washington, the laws
roads.
of
These are
Washington.
public roads. We don't need to register.
State
unless we're
highways,
under
man.
commerce. Unless we're under commerce,
Okay,
that's the only
you're
time we
operating a motor vehicle. You have to follow the laws of the road.
traveling.
You have
You can use your feet to travel. If you're going to use a vehicle, you have to follow the rules of the road.
Right here,
Then
because-
why have a license?
It's for commerce for those who are actually making.
Yeah, so you're using a car. So,
No, it's those who are making revenue off the roads because these are public roads that we pay
okay,
for.
do you have proof of insurance on the vehicle?
Homie straight up said, hey, I'm not using it for commerce. He said, why? Why have a driver's license in? And then Louis says, well, if I want to do commerce, like if I want to go, work on Uber or do something, make some extra money, I got to have a driver's license. And he's like, well, that is or a car. Like he's not even understanding the aspect. Deputy Lee's not even understanding the difference between commerce and traveling. Bro, what? Come on, man.
I don't need it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Damn right he don't need insurance. He's not using commerce.
You can have a seat back in the car. Lee. J. Lee, 133.
Your supervisor's coming?
No, supervisor's not coming. If you need to get a hold of a supervisor, you can call.
He lied to us then.
Oh, maybe the supervisor is coming.
Yeah, but he said that he was
No,
coming.
he
though.
said it was.
Oh, maybe he's coming, but he was up in Colville, so he'll be a minute. But you guys.
So what I find fascinating, okay, as you just heard from Deputy Lee, everything is good where they are at right now. They know that they have no jurisdiction to take Luis's property, okay? They don't have jurisdiction because it's his, okay? Did Luis have to prove this in the first place? No, but he did. He didn't want to have problems. He kind of wanted to stand up for his right, and I think Luis took this as a possibility to educate the local LEOs. In such, you just heard Deputy Lee say, all right, well, y'all can get back in the car. No worries, right? And a supervisor's coming. Now, you already know what happens when the supervisor gets here. That's part one. This is part two. Deputy Swim shows up and conspires with all other 3 officers to bump up the charge to something that is not even relevant. For what? Just because I would love to take him to jail. And that's very weird, concerning, immoral, evil, despicable, disgraceful. You don't deserve to be out here serving our public. You don't deserve our money. You don't deserve our money. You don't deserve our money.
You guys can have a seat back in your vehicle. He's going to work on some paperwork for you.
What was his name? And he has.
It'll be on the paperwork. Yeah, you are detained right now, yes.
Yeah, that's deprivation of rights under color of law.
We have a lawful authority to detain you.
Do you know Title 18?
Yeah, I'm
242?
over Title 18.
242, right?
Yeah, so you are detained right now.
Yeah.
You are not free to go. Once he gives you your paperwork and explains it to you, you guys will be free to go.
Deputy Lee just spewing. Yeah. I know Title 18. He don't know nothing. Luis over here saying, are you well aware of Title 18, 242? You know 242, right? Yeah, I know. He don't know. Lee don't know. You can tell he don't know by just spewing. He can't even engage in a conversation any further about it. Look how polite. She's like, look, it's a snake skin. They have no worries. They're not worried about being violated or having their rights violated. Their private property stolen. And they literally left Luis's wife like that out in the middle of nowhere. Look at these people. They ain't been belligerent. They ain't like Lane Myers. Excuse me. Had to say it. They ain't like Lane Myers out here cussing up a storm and being disrespectful. They ain't out here acting a fool. You know my right. They are respectful people. Honoring patriots, Americans, living free as you and I and all of us should be, because we are creations of the Creator.
Is there a significance to these? Does this mean something to you?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're by the law of the land, not the admiralty, maritime law. Because that's what all this whole commerce stuff is under, admiralty maritime. So like the Constitution that you guys take an oath to uphold, is a part of that, the Title 18, 242.
Okay.
Yeah, I've studied for 10 years, bro. Like I know my stuff. Like I know that this is unlawful. There's a difference between legalese and lawful.
Okay.
I love you, Luis. You make me so proud, brother. I love you, bro. I just want you to know that. And I want all of you to share in the comments how much you love Luis. I love you, bro. You good people, man. You're going to be a lifelong friend, bro. I can't wait to meet you in person, brother.
Yeah, it was funny. One time when I was in Granby, they were trying to get me for the same thing for driving without a license and stuff. And I submitted an abatement, and then I told them I want to present myself. I'm not gonna go under you guys as attorneys or judges because they're all they're all pretty much a part of the court. But then after they're all like, all right, well you can present yourself, but we got to do an evaluation to see if you're competent. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And I went into the room and they pretty much tried to intimidate me. They sat me down on the table, and they put judges and attorneys and prosecution attorneys around me. And then they put the paperwork that I submitted right in front of me, and they're like, we don't want you to use this. And they were just serious. I'm like, why? Because you guys know it works. And they just stayed serious, and they just kept repeating the question. Like, telling me this statement that, like, we don't want you to use this. And that's all they could continue saying, because they knew that it's all law, So, like, just study, bro. Like, that's all I ask you guys to do. Is, like, there's a difference between commerce, and being under the Constitution, because the Constitution is made for you guys, not for us. If there's no crime being committed, which is under corpus delicti, that there has to be an injured party or damaged property, then there is no crime. just because we're the ones that actually pay for the public roads, so why are we getting taxed to be on them? We shouldn't be, you know? So like, it's just crazy. You know, just so many people don't know about this because they don't study, you know? But yeah, just imagine you knowing this, and then like, you don't have to be paying tabs or registration every year, how you usually have to do for the tabs, for all your cars, unless you're getting paid like a driver is, like a taxi driver, Uber driver, or even like semis, like they're all getting paid to make revenue off the roads. We're not, so we shouldn't be getting taxed off of our own taxes that we made, the roads with, so like, it's just crazy.
Now you can see how intelligent he really is, right? I told y'all my boy's smart. My boy know what he talking about. He's done studied. He knows the difference. He knows who he is, and this is the difference. And what he's doing is, instead of being belligerent, instead of being a problem, he is being a solution. How? Because he's educating. He is empowering the community by bringing law enforcement and the private, public, whatever you want to say, and bridging the gap by education. Because his situation right here, now that it's getting as big as it's getting, is bringing attention to the subject. I guarantee you these people are going to start thinking a little bit more about what they're doing, because now they're getting Brady complaints. Do you understand what's going on? Okay, we're actually going to start making complaints with Mr. Christensen, the prosecuting attorney. Why? Because he knows better. But the problem is, they have to protect themselves because they know they did wrong. They can't just dismiss it, because if they dismiss it, then they're literally admitting to the guilt of the police department. But tonight, I think today is the November the 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Watch the time, right? There's a meeting. In-town meeting for the city of Colville, and we're definitely getting in there because it's open to the public to speak, and that's going to be tonight at 6, so we got some good stuff going on. Let's continue.
How many kids do you have? Are they little? My oldest is actually.
My homie got an Amish beard. I used to have one long like that, but not as long.
Yeah, it's crazy how this whole maritime admiralty law, it ties back to Rome, Like it's just crazy how it goes back in history and stuff. How's your day going?
Well, it's another day.
Yeah?
Yep.
You enjoy your job?
What was that?
You enjoy your job?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen anything crazy, like, happening around? Like, get any shootings or anything?
A couple months ago. There was
Oh, yeah?
one,
So it gets pretty crazy around here?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm originally from the Yakima Valley area, but it just
It's not as crazy as Yakima.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, because we recently moved up here like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're, we're called to get out of the cities and stuff.
How's it going?
Good.
Just curious, everything's all right.
Oh yeah, we're good. Yep. Thanks for checking.
Just checking to see if everything's all right. A concerned citizen looking out for Luis. Yep, everything's fine. We're going to give him some tickets. He's going to be on his way. How's it go from...
A lot better place than Yakima.
That's good. Yeah, I know that the laws are a little more lenient down here too, like for like building and all that.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Yeah, I used to have a business in construction. Yeah, I was a general contractor.
All right. Yeah, no, this place isn't bad. It seems a little more old
chill.
school than everywhere else.
That's good.
Even compared to like Spokane,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
It's been getting pretty big.
Look,
In Spokane, like, almost
he,
like,
their conversation, there's no crime. That's why he's having this conversation the way that he is. There's no crime. Why did Luis go to jail? Because Deputy Swim came through and conspired to violate his rights. It was already illegal, the aspect that they're speaking to him in the first place when there was no reasonable articulable suspicion, no probable cause. But when Deputy Swim showed up, he conspired to violate the rights. And that's the problem, y'all. No need for theft of property.
It's called Election Day.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, people are like given the authority to kill for like 24 hours without any laws or anything. But
I haven't heard anything about that.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. Well, I know that the next thing that's coming is famine, because we know that we've seen the whole COVID thing, and that was all a scam.
Yeah.
They're trying to get people, to vaccinate themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that next thing, man, is...
You know what's disturbing, Deputy Lee? You know what's disturbing, Deputy Lee? Here, let me directly speak to you, Deputy Lee. You know what's disturbing, Deputy Lee? It's disturbing that you are a participant in the theft of people's personal private property. That's what's disturbing. What's disturbing is that you put those kids in the back of that truck right there into a bad situation, stranded on the side of the road. And it wasn't for anything other than an ego, other than we possibly can make this fit. Didn't fit. It won't stick. It's going to get dropped. And y'all going to you will be held liable. We the people you will be held liable. I promise. You will be held liable. It's not a threat. We are telling you, you're going to be held liable.
This famine, they've already been saying that there's food shortages and all that, and what's his name, Bill Gates has been buying up farmland, they've been buying up all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely coming.
Yeah.
Something else I want you to pay attention to. If you've already seen part 1 of this, that's good. This is actually the first part of the situation. But what I just wanted you to notice is that how the conversation is going very well between Jason Lee and Luis. And then Luis's wife and the woman cop. They are literally all speaking to each other, laughing, smiling. Everything is fine. Everything is good to go. You understand here? Everything's fine. I don't understand how, if you watch the first part, when the lady cop comes back and is like, yeah, let's do it, let's take him to jail, she's all happy about it. How she could be happy about that when she's over here literally talking to the wife in a happy manner, in a polite, respectful manner? How can you be so fake that you go from 10 minutes ago having a great conversation and engaging with a member of the public to then saying to another fellow officer, he's back there drilling Lee. I think he should go to jail because he thinks he can just go to court and dismiss it. It doesn't matter what he thinks. That doesn't give you justification to bump up a false, fictitious charge into a felony. That's abuse of your powers. I don't get what you don't get about that. Why would you do that? That's what I don't. It's not even that you. Why? Why would you? Why? Why? Oh, well, because he thinks he can just go to court and get it dismissed. Okay, so why does he deserve to go to jail? Well, because he don't think that we have more power over him. And? What? People, I'm just so flabbergasted. We have to get these people out. These people right here have to go. This right here is a blatant violation. Homie is like, come on, man.
Did you start as a police officer, right? Or did you just
Deputy, yeah.
So you always been around Chihuahua?
Well, no. My first year was in Spokane County, and then the
So
next
you know how
4 were
bad
out
things
here.
are there.
Oh, yeah.
So you like it better to go down here than up?
Well, you're a sheriff, so that's more
Yeah, it's higher up.
Yeah.
more in the country, right?
Yep. Yeah, the whole county.
That's nice.
Big area.
Is that in Spokane? I thought Spokane is Spokane County.
Right. I work Stevens County. Spokane is Spokane
Where
County.
does it start? Like
Stephen?
Springfield
Just south of Clayton.
or Clayton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just south of there and then all the way to Canada.
Oh,
All the way
Canada?
to Canada?
Wow.
Really?
That's nice.
I thought after Middle
That is a big area. That's a big area. Wow, from Spokane all the way up to Canada, that's a big area, bro. But again, look, we are having a productive conversation, honor, integrity. Yeah, they're, I'm not even going to go on that back end, but at least here we're having respect, right? There's respect being shown. The lady cop's a little standoffish. She don't want to be nice, but they're still being polite. Everyone's being cordial, y'all.
Yeah. Not all day. A lot of it.
But it's more road than office work, right?
Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, a lot of paperwork.
So you'll each have to make a report, right?
No, he'll do a report on the whole interaction. Our body cameras will be attached to it, so you can see like what I saw, and they'll pick up conversations that we had. But the only like actual written report will be by that deputy there.
But if it gets sent into court, then they'll know.
They can. They could subpoena me. Yeah. Be like, you were there. What happened? Or they'll say, is this your body camera footage? And be like, yeah, that looks about right. Hey, he's the primary investigating officer, deputy.
He got on scene first, right?
What?
He got on scene first?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, this was his
Right.
his initial contact.
And then he just asked for backup?
I guess so. Because you're big and scary and intimidated him, I guess. I don't know.
It's because he's a newbie.
Ugh. If he could write a little faster, we'd get out of here, I swear. I don't mean to hold you guys up this long, but...
I didn't take this car to the shop.
And this is why I say I feel as though Jason Lee, Deputy Jason Lee, I feel like you could be a good one. Because I heard some of your conversations that we went over in part 1. I didn't know you were overstepping this far earlier, but at least I can tell that you do know the Constitution down deep inside. Jason Lee, you got to stand up for what's right in this, man. You know that these people did him wrong. You know that your uncle now, and you have had conversations about this. I know you've spoken to your uncle because you mentioned it on camera. You said your uncle's a constitutionalist, and you know nothing's wrong with that because all of our Supreme Court justices are constitutionalists, okay? But I think what I can tell here is the aspect that Jason's like, yeah, I wish this guy would hurry up. We need to get up out of here. Indicating the fact that there was no thought of taking him to jail or stealing his property whatsoever until Sergeant Swim shows up. Conspiracy to violate rights, y'all.
What shop are you trying to get to?
Valley.
Oh, that's a bit of a jaunt.
Yeah, I saw. It's
Oh,
cheaper.
the one you're hauling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I put a new ignition in it, and it's not reading my chip on my my remote, so I gotta get it all programmed.
That's a pain.
Yeah, and that thing is like 50 miles a gallon, man. Like it's really good.
Is it a Volkswagen? The DTI?
Yeah, TDI.
Yeah. Yeah, the diesel ones are insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had a diesel one.
Yeah.
He had it for years.
Yeah, I have like 340,000 on it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things will go forever.
Right, it's go and go and go.
Yeah.
He said he could go to Seattle and back and only have to fill up once.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
So do you go to church? What happened? Do you attend church?
Luis's wife just asked the female deputy if she attends church. So Luis's wife is trying to preach right now to the deputies, and she's getting turned down. The deputy shook her head no. So this is why you can tell we don't have the justice and servitude in which we need in our law enforcement, is because these people are not believers of the great creator. I mean, I don't know. I can't judge like that. I guess I'm wrong for that assumption. I shouldn't say that. But what I should say is that you can tell Luis and his wife definitely have morals, integrity, honor. I think Luis is like going to Washington, D.C. within the next 2 weeks to go preach for the inauguration, or whenever the inauguration is. So, I mean, Luis really does this. He really is out here ministering. It's amazing to me. But, yo, the great creator gonna take care of this situation. I know it.
Heard of any prophecies like with COVID happening and all that?
No, I don't.
You know? Yeah, because the next thing coming is a famine. Yeah, you can see that like already on the rise.
Are you spiritual?
Christian.
Christian.
That's
What
awesome.
church do you go to?
I haven't gone to church for years just because of work, but
Yeah.
What denomination?
You hear what he said? I haven't gone to church for years because of work. Work has taken over the morality. And when you work so long, so hard in a certain environment, it changes you. Let me give you an example. A personal one. I used to live in Texas. In this area, it's eat or get ate. The mentality there is pretty bad. And growing up there at a young age, I fell into that trap of living a life that was not beneficial to others, even though I knew better. I had to get out of that area to heal and be better. And now I'm way better than I've ever been. So, I put that to say into perspective, Mr. Lee, this job may pay good, but is it empowering? Is it feeding your soul? Is it feeding your morality? Is it feeding your integrity? Is it what you thought it would be? Are you helping people like you thought you wanted to? Or are you harming families for a very long time? Something to think about. I hope you hear me, Deputy Swim. Or Jason Lee, sorry.
primarily Baptist now.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice. Yeah. Yeah, you guys believe in the Ten Commandments.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if he's done yet. This is. Are we done yet? Jeez.
Well, if he can't show proof of ownership of it,
Well, he has it signed over to him. He just hasn't titled it.
I'm talking about the trailer.
Y'all got to remember, he doesn't have to show proof of ownership. They have to prove that it's stolen. Remember that.
Did you find that VIN?
I'm still scratching out my handwritten, so we'll see if we'll figure it out. All right, thanks. I can't see a VIN. He said he's not registered. It doesn't have.
Right.
So again, the cop that initiated the illegal detainment is now conspiring already on the phone with Deputy Swim before Swim even gets there. They're already conspiring.
I wouldn't make it a bigger mess than it already
Well,
is.
not just yet, but still.
The
We can't let him drive.
car on it.
So
Well, he has a license. He
anywhere.
can drive. He can just get pulled over and given a ticket again.
This is why I say I feel as though Jason Lee would be a good superior. I think Jason Lee, this other guy in this truck, is a newbie. It seems though, and it seems like Jason Lee, yo Jason, I really want you to continue talking to your uncle, man, your constitutionalist uncle. If you hearing this, bro, you have the power to change that department. You yourself have the power to change that department into a department that could be known nationwide. You like, oh man, whatever. You do. You don't understand it. Standing up for our rights, making a stand is the biggest thing you could do. You're showing the way by telling. Man, we don't need to make this a bigger deal than it is. I see how you have continuously tried throughout the whole interaction to dissuade and persuade them not to have you conspire with them in their deprivation of Luis and his family's rights. I just wish you would have tried harder.
That's what your citation is for. So, shitty chat. I was wrong. The sergeant is coming. And he's almost done with his paper, and then see what happens next.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And I know how y'all remember that chief of Stevens County in the conversation that I had with him. He said, okay, so anyways, you know, when we talked to the sheriff of Stevens County, he was literally telling us, well, the film's been highly edited. Mine's ain't. So nothing's being edited here, brother. That's why I'm trying to go through this. They try to use that. And, oh, well, you didn't show the whole interaction. Hey, buddy, we showing it.
The bail amounts for this probably this insurance 550 still?
559.
559, okay. And then failed to register. vehicle? Do you know what that one would be off the top of your head?
Well, failed to transfer title is a misdemeanor.
So again, look, this guy right here is a new boot cop. New boot cop. He's over here asking all, Feldner's out here asking all these questions. He's a new boot. He don't know nothing. So of course he violated Luis's rights. And then the rest conspired with him to move forward. This is crazy. This definitely is. Now I see why the female officer smiled. I see now why she smiled when he said, oh, well, Evers just said you can take him to jail and impound it. And she's all like, you're getting your first one today, buddy. You finally got you one you can tow and arrest and charge with a felony. That's what the smile was for. It's clear as day now. Now we have the full picture. Oh, man. This one's bad for y'all. Pretty bad. Especially being nice after Luis's wife was preaching. Literally preaching. Trying to initiate conversation about our great creator. And then goes to the... And even Luis did it. Asking what church you go to. Then moved... Look, they're over here literally looking up what to charge him with because Feldner don't know. He has no clue. He has no clue. He's a new boot.
He's got 8. 46, 12, 650.
650. Okay.
Got 8.
Okay.
And look who shows up.
No. Okay, let me make something very clear to you right now. Yes, I'm not putting up with any of this constitutionalist or sovereign citizen BS. Whatever you want to call yourself, there's laws in the state of Washington, RCWs, that you have to follow to legally drive in the state of Washington. You can use commercial travel, whatever you want to use. They don't care. You're operating a motor vehicle in public roads in the state of Washington.
Alright, so y'all know this to be part 1. We've already covered this part. This is pretty much the rest of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see real quick. I'm going to skip through all this and I'm going to see towards the end if anything on Jason Lee's body camera indicates anything that we haven't seen in the first part. Okay, so give me just 1 second. Nah, that was it. There ain't nothing left. All that happened from there is Lee turned off his body cam as he went into the gas station to take a piss. It's so sad. We really have to advocate for our family. Luis is my family. You want to know why he's my family? Because I'm a human. He's family. Because he's a creation of the Creator. Y'all got to remember that I am you. You are we and we are us. We are all a part of the great Creator. And we, the people, are the top. All power is inherent in us. Let's demand it for Luis. I love you all. See you on the next one.